things up, I'll explain. So we'll do this run in 3, 2, 1. Okay. This is Metal Gear Rising. I'm Thanzel, also known as Gref. Basically, this game consists of a bunch of crap that happens that has a random element to half of its game and doesn't care about the rest of it. The worst boss in this game is probably the one you're about to see, also known as Metal Gear Ray. The reason nobody likes him is because he is a literal RNG factory. There is no way to control this boss in any way, shape or form. He will randomly jump around until he feels ready just to, you know, chill and headbutt you repeatedly, which is what you want him to do, because it makes the fight go faster. But he likes to have a party and, you know, eat, sleep, rave, repeat, etc. Obviously you don't want to get hit by missiles and stuff, but it doesn't really matter, because obviously he's always guaranteed to use the tail there. During this section, your preference would be him stop and headbutt you twice, like so. The reason I'm not cutting the turrets is very simple. During this game, there are certain QTs that trigger, where it offers you to cut said item off of said boss, or cut said weapon. The reason we don't do that is because most of these QTs, you deal a set amount of damage when you activate the QT. So you just do the QT, and you don't actually cut it, because you deal the damage, so you just repeatedly use the same one. Okay, so that's Metal Gear Ray 1. He wasn't so badly behaved, whereas sometimes he can waste up to 5 minutes because he's a fucking retard. But yeah. The next boss is the same boss, it's just done in a different style. It's got to have a specific set of attacks done to it. There are multiple ways to get this percentage of HP, but yeah. You need to, during the first transmission of the fight, before he phases, he will headbutt you at one stage, and that one headbutt, he has to be at one set of HP, which is 80.1. The reason for this is very simple, is that it puts him on the verge of another phase, and you only need to hit him once to push him over. But you don't want to do that before he moves in the next section. So basically here, this is occasionally a glitch that will happen. I'm not sure what causes it, it's not relevant. If Raiden decides to spaz out, just ignore him, because he's a child. But yeah, during this section here, I'll show you exactly how to do this section safely, every single time. It may require a few resets in practice, but this is how you do it. At the start of the fight, jump to him, do 1 heavy kick and 5 light attacks. Land on the floor, into 2 heavy kicks, into 2 or 3 lights. If you hit 3, great. If you don't panic. During this, try and get 2 heavy kicks on his head. If you miss 1, that's fine. Hit 1 heavy kick and then 3 lights. And then you got him at 80.1, which is where he needs to be. Block this with a parry and cut the head. Now you need to be sprinting to the left corner of his room. So basically what happens now is he'll either move instantly because he's an asshole, or he'll stay there for a couple of seconds then move shortly after. The reason for that is that when he does the slow movement and you can hit him in between the gap, you push him over straight away, meaning he skips a phase. He doesn't start shooting missiles at you, you completely skip that section of this fight. Like, this section is the QT missile jump, so this is irrelevant. This is a complete RNG heavy factor as well of this game. I got decent missiles. The easiest way to know you got decent missiles with this fight is when the chorus reaches the word alive being screamed, and if you've managed to cut or are cutting his arm at that point, it's a decent missile run. Because there's times you can get past the alive and it will start a new section of the chorus, meaning you've wasted a lot of time. And no, I'm not joking, I'm being super serious. The missile run can have roughly 5 second variants. It will rarely ever be too really bad, but it has its moments. But yeah, that's Ray 2 complete. The next fight is Sam 2, which you're intended to lose. You have to lose that fight. You can't win. So yeah. This should be like a 203, which is correct. Okay, train, just want to keep jumping. One of the reasons that I do get asked this question quite a lot, why are you sprint jumping so much? Very simple. I don't know why Platinum Games do this in some of their games, but sprinting is slower than sprint jumping, which is kind of retarded. But yeah, it happens. Some games, values are different. On this fight, you want to try and get to the barrel, and Sam will either charge you twice like a fucking dick, and then he'll hit you normally, and then you parry. Preferably he wants to do 4 attacks, and then you get stunned, and then you press X when you come out of it. And it'll enter this phase, and you'll go through this cutscene section, which you can't skip. He'll hit you off the roof, and then you'll go into the next section. You do the exact same thing, and wedge yourself against the wall and him. You just want to die as fast as possible. So, same again. Wedge myself against the wall or him. There's no specific way to make this go any faster. And he tried to finish me off with style, because he's cool. During this bit, you want to move towards Sam and wait. Usually he'll taunt you first, but he'll walk towards you when he's ready to attack you. You'll see this in a second. You want to intercept this with the sword swing, like that. Because he'll either taunt, or he'll walk towards you and do this, and he'll end the fight automatically, because it's in his AI. You want to preferably have him taunt you again, but it doesn't really matter that much. The time difference is very small. Okay, so now we're starting the major stuff of this run. Okay, so the majority of the time, if you've played this game through normally, you would go up the stairs and you fight 3 guards, you go through some cutscene, but we don't do that. We go onto this area here, we do a pole-arm jump, and what we do here is, if I stop being bad, you land on an invisible ledge, and then do a second pole-arm jump, and you land on the out-of-bounds barrier. Then you jump straight past the loading trigger and go over the car into this room. Okay, that's the first load trigger skipped altogether. Okay, now we've done that, we go up the boxes same as you would normally, ignoring everything else, and we go to this corner, and you pole-arm jump up out of the roof, and now I've just skipped another loading trigger. The reason we do this is because, very simply, the load triggers that you're going across is conversation heavy, and you don't want to get in conversations in this game because Boris likes to talk a lot and your hand will get tired out by mashing. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. So, all I've done here is I'm currently out of bounds running across buildings and some roofs. So, when you get to this section, you want to try and hug here and then dive kick onto this. That end section there is not solid, so never ever land there. On Wolf, try and step to the side slightly and lock on for the second attack, just to be safe. The reason I did it that way is very simple. That is the safe strat, and it is the easiest way for a beginner to learn that fight. What you do at the start is you throw a smoke grenade and activate Ripper mode at the same moment. So Wolf's delay on falling down to the floor, and smoke grenade activates and he gets confused and has no idea what's going on, so you just kill him while he's like that, because he has a threshold point where he'll jump up and he'll summon a bunch of geckos and a bunch of guards, and you don't want to deal with that because it wastes time, because this is a speed run. These sections don't really matter. Once you've defeated Wolf, you want to be swapping over to the Psy because it kills the next boss extremely quickly. This is the only mini-boss in the game that you will, I believe, use any other weapon other than the pincer blade. The reason this is faster is very simple. This helicopter usually spends 7 or 8 years in the air, and you're just flying over to him and killing him like that, and that's a gold split, so that's pretty good. Okay, got the teleporting guard, that's fine. Please die. That's fine. That's okay. 13-13. Or 1333, whichever. Okay, so I'm about to show you something that is terrible in this game. The stealth detection in this game is god-awful. Probably one of the worst I've ever seen designed. Obviously, I still love the game, so it doesn't matter. Right, so during this section, usually you go to the left and you fight all a bunch of guards, but in the speedrun we don't do that. We run around the back of the building and we hug this rock, because the rock is cool. The rock is our friend, just remember this. And you hug the rock until you get to the end, and you just basically skip fighting any of the guards. At this section here, you want to try and switch your weapon, preferably, because not all panels load straight away, and you're sort of standing there for a couple of seconds. I noticed something a little while back. If you try to switch weapons standing in front of it, it pre-renders it. So a lot of the time, it'll render the button while you're in your menu. So it's on screen, so you can instantly activate it once you come out of the menu. But you don't want to do it to all, because it wastes time otherwise. Okay. Okay. Right, we want to go north. Kill that. And they're all grouped up. Other than one. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, during this section, a lot of people got confused with this. There are two sensors here, but if you stay in the middle and jump just before the red dots, you'll be fine. Run up the middle there, you'll always bounce. Slide under that, and go straight up the top of the stairs. So here, what you want to do is you want to throw a smoke grenade. Doesn't matter where it lands. Start sprinting, jump sprint, and then just jump over the guard and completely ignore fighting them. Now you run around here and go straight up to Mistral. So basically that's 01 complete already. Right, Mistral, there is a very specific strat. Start the fight, charge Pencil Blade stage 1, hit her with it, and offset forward. There's a reason for this. There is something known as offsets in other Platinum games, and it's not actually in the manual for this game, but if you offset, even after a QT, you continue your combo of the previous attack. So I'll show you here. I just hit a stage 1 with a full charge. I'm going to offset backwards, and then I'm going to continue the combo from my Pencil Blade into a stage 2. And she's dead. The reason that works is because of the way that Platinum Games designed it. Basically, that attack is more than enough to kill Mistral, but because she's still in the secondary phase of her fight, she'll go into the final phase, and she'll trigger the QT to end the fight straight away. She'll run towards me and end it, as you'll see now. Come straight towards me, and she'll give me a QT, as you see. Okay, so during this you don't want to be mashing A. You want to mash A to an extent and then hit no every time. You never want to go into customization. On PC you can mash your bumpers during this and occasionally get off ripper mode before the video even loads. You want to switch to the site at the start here because you're going to be killing a gorilla in a moment. No one wants to hurt gorillas. I don't want to hurt them, but the metal gorillas, they're not cool. They try to hurt you and give you hugs or mean hugs and stuff that hurts. So you want to kill that gorilla as quickly as you can. There is a couple of things I will go over shortly after this fight. There are certain NPCs and certain monsters in this game that die and despawn faster with certain attacks, and you will see me abuse that in a moment. So the gorilla dies fairly fast, so you just mash Y as this phase ends and attack him a couple of times with sword. Once this fight's over, switch over to the polearm. The reason is for the next fight that you engage in. Here comes the terrible stealth detection once again. I am going to run straight past these guards. So I'm going to sprint jump, land, cancel into another sprint jump, walk for 1 second. So All I've done there is I've stopped running for half a second at most, and then I sprint jumped. And apparently I've still got the sound level of a normal walk. Right. Okay, so this encounter a lot of people struggle with in their first playthrough. This is how you abuse it. Ripper mode, one polearm attack, they're all dead. This is the fastest way to despawn these guys, because the old strat involved using the pincer blade. And at the end of that you want to switch to your SI. There you go. That's called enemy abuse. We abuse the fact that we can despawn them quickly. As best we can. There are several strats to come back for the next section, but I use the old one because I'm so used to it because I'm old school. And there's slicing on the doors. You just need to cancel into a slide dash. That's it. Stab this guy in the back. Jump over his brother gorilla down here. Okay, reset because I continued to sprint. That was terrible. So, what you want to do here, you want to stab this guy in the back. Sprint jump over his brother. Wait for this guy to hop. And then just sprint to the end of the hallway. Then activate Ripper mode as you come out of here. Kill this guy. Like that. There is a really weird box around that room. I'm not sure what that is at all, and I'm never going to try to find out because I can't be bothered. Okay, so during this section, it's very simplistic. You don't kill anything. Okay, so you throw a grenade to the bottom of the stairs. That's it. All the guards will get distracted. You jump over to the panel, cancel jump, and then mash B. That's it. There we go. Straight to the next section. Skip the cutscene. Go into this room and kill these two guards first, because it despawns the other stuff much quicker. One will spawn there, and one will spawn here. Again, this is all routing stuff that I know, so this will take practice. Okay. The next boss is Grad. A lot of people don't like this guy because he runs around a lot and you can't really get good attacks on him. Basically, we kill him in 2 hits. For a very specific reason, because he likes to waste time, same as Ray, because he's a dick. In this section, you only shock one guard, which is this one. It's faster to shock him with this drone than it is for him to actually run around and you kill him, because he's a dick and likes to have a long detour and chill with his buddies upstairs. So you tell those buddies of his to fuck off, and you tell him to fuck off, and that's it. Die please. Die please. There we go. Sometimes that guy just won't die, and I've not really experienced it that much, but yeah, it happens from time to time. You switch to the pincer blade because you're about to get to the next boss fight. Okay, so Grad, there is a very specific way to do this. I will do the fight then explain it, because this is kind of awkward. The strat used for this fight, we don't know why it does this, but Grad's AI for counterattacks is fucking weird. So you just sprint jump at the start, get to the second arc, wait for the missile, and then dash towards him with charge attacks. But I went the wrong way. You have to run in a set position. You have to go, wait for him to fire, and then go behind that, push him back, like that. And that's Grad, pretty much. While it's in this, you want to be mashing Y. Mash Y, then offset backwards, and full charge stage 2, which enters the first bit. Charge stage 3. Hit him in the leg. Do the QT because it kills him faster. And Grad's dead. That's Grad. Oh, come on, dude. Jeez. Never get hit by that rocket. But yeah. This game can be a bit scummy when it wants to be. I don't know why they designed this section like this. It's like, let's put one door, then a conversation, then another door, and then a cutscene. Smiley face. Great design. Nah, I'm only kidding. Okay, so here comes one of the major parts of this game. The next skip, the big one, it is very awkward to pull off for a beginner because it was 3 skips in a row. So get prepared for your eyes to fall out your face. But you'll learn how to do it if you learn how to pole arm jump. Okay, that's fine.
The road is blocked by barricades. We will proceed through the buildings. You will follow me.
Sorry, it's 4 skips in a row. The first one you can't really fail though.
Right. What's your status? Your company. Right. With you, so I suggest you and your there. Well, today. Yeah. Well, now. Well, I just.
There's a reason I delay my jump there. Those things aren't able to be attacked straight away, so I just delay it just enough so that the final attack will hit it and kill it. Despawn, please. That was a bad despawn. That was okay. Basically, in certain areas you can do that. You can activate a panel QT before you even get the score screen, but you need to be mashing. Okay, so this section is where the triple skip comes into play. This is not easy to pull off, and I probably will mess it up a couple of times, but I'll explain it as I do it if I can. So the first skip is very easy. Anyone can do this. The reason I took my weapon off is because I need a specific move, which is the dive kick. And the reason for this is normally you run around these buildings, you run across, but instead we just jump across and dive kick across and go to the second building straight off the bat. Then we dive kick from here and land on this building here. Switch over to the pole arm. Once the pole arm is equipped, we've got to do a specific skip, which requires me good timing here. Because normally you go upstairs and you fight 2 guards and a bunch of other stuff, and it's not worth the effort. So we just skip that section altogether. Right, now that I've done the roof, and both the roofs, now we do a fast fall. The elevator shaft is to my right. There is an invisible box around this room here, so we just slow our descent on the way there. And I missed, so this is why I said this can be a time killer. I fell too far away from the box, meaning I lost my positioning. And I fell too quickly, so I couldn't see. Okay, so do it again. So that's the first 2 skips done once again. And now you just fast forward into this section here. Keep going forward. And slow down. You can see where you are. And land on top of that roof. So basically all I did there was I skipped the entire elevator section and I skipped all of the fights in between. When you're in this section you want to jump just to make sure. Get to the end and pole arm jump again to get on top of the metro. Once you're on top you want to switch over to the side and now you just want to run to the end. The whole reason for this is there is a faster route, but nobody uses that route because it's not safe, it's never going to be safe, and it is unbearably tricky to get right. Even when you do it correctly. Like, there's too many encounters that you can engage in the tunnel, so it's not worth it. So, what's going to happen now is, I'm going to run up to this section here, get to the door, I'll engage in a conversation with Wolf. But while this is going on, I'm going to hit a checkpoint. And then you restart the game to go back in bounds. Like so. So once that's done, you're pretty much home free and you're on your way to Monsoon. And basically, the only reason the side's equipped is because it usually kills that guy slightly faster. You can sprint jump all the way up these stairs, but not sprint up them. Fun fact. Oh, come on. Goodness. Good enough. Oh my god, am I seriously going to get rocket spammed? This game. You suck a penis. Yeah, that I tried to pull off a flashy trick that didn't seem to work in my favour. That was awful. Doesn't matter. Okay, so all that's going to happen now is I'm going to go through a cutscene, and Sam is going to talk to me a bit, taunt me a bit because he's a dick. But yeah, the Monsoon fight has to be done in a set way. It's varied between console and PC. Let me make that very clear. There are 2 or 3 bosses in the game that are done differently. I'll explain why and when it happens. Okay, so once we've done that, we want to switch over to the EM grenade and the pincer blade. If it wants to lock in my EM grenade and pincer blade, okay, fair enough. Done. Now we go into this section here. The emotional state's highly volatile. It just means ride and win emo. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as well, by the way, guys. So, like, leave them in the comments below. If anything you do not understand from this run, make sure that you ask, because I'm more than happy to answer questions. But don't, like, if you ask about the Fox Blade and you ask about other weapons and what armor and stuff I'm wearing, I'll list that all in the description as well. I'll explain one thing, because obviously we're in the intermission section now. There is, the world record run does involve Fox Blade strats. You switch between Sam's Blade and Fox Blade in the run. The reason is there is a backstabbing section that you guys would have already seen in this run, in the sewer. The Fox Blade doesn't even need to be in Ripper mode. You could just enter Blade mode and cut him in half. There are a couple of strategies that involve that, which is slightly faster, which is why the Fox Blade is used. However, I'm using the old strategies because I'm used to it. The change in the Fox Blade strat is a maximum across a run about 25 seconds. And knowing that I can improve my PB by over a minute or more with the old strats, I won't develop in the Fox Blade strategies until I am done with my current one. That's the idea.
now, is it? Is your cause just? Or is that just what you tell yourself? Fuck you.
Right. So now you get to watch a cat for about 30 seconds-ish. This cutscene here is roughly 1 minute and 20 odd seconds. It's skippable in the console version, and it is not in the PC version. Same with the Monsoon. There is certain aspects of his fight that have changed, and I'll explain them very soon. Basically, the attacks on Monsoon have changed in this run compared with the console run. Not a lot, but there is a difference between the two. Just so we're clear. And now you get to see your cat. There you go. He will pet the cat because he is an absolute buffoon. There is my sword. There is a cat. There is another guard. There is Monsoon. There is Sam. There is another guard. There is my sword again, and there we're going back to the cat. Because I need to kill time in this cutscene. Previously, PB'd went because I went for a piss during this cutscene. Okay. This is Monsoon. This is the fight that most people hate and loathe with every fibre of their body. Learn how to kill him quickly. Okay. That's the difference in between the console and PC version. You start the fight with a fully charged pincher stage 1. Block him. Stage 2. Fully charged stage 1. Block him. Normal stage 1 into fully charged stage 2. Turn away the first arc and hit him with a second, and then hit him once with a sword. Reason for this is if you hit him with the first arc of the pincer blade, it fucks up the damage gauge, and he has to be at this amount of HP to be pushed over into the next phase. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to cut off his head. I'm going to run over to the head and wait about 5 seconds-ish. He'll reform, and as he does so, you hit him once with a pincer blade. If this happens, you block. Hit him once with an offset, once with a normal sword swing, jump cancel into a slide dash. Okay, this can happen sometimes, but if it happens, don't panic. Okay, got it. Okay, you want to charge stage 1, charge stage 2, offset towards him, and normal stage 3 with no charge, and that's a kill. Basically, what happened there was Monsoon, sometimes it won't trigger the QT straight away, and it will fuck up with your positioning. It can happen from time to time. The safest way is get a longer run to Monsoon so it guarantees procs directly in front of his face. But when you knock off his head for the second time, you have to hit him once with the slide dash. So when you slide in to hit him, you have to hit him once with at least either the overhead or the original trip up. So don't fret too much, this strat's very easy to learn. But your timing has to be right, and you have to use the attacks in the set order that I showed. In fact, I taught Nova Moon how to do this skip a little while ago, and he's got it easy peasy now, so. And there you go, that's Monsoon in a nutshell. There is some variance based on what attack he uses. That's a little slower than usual because he ran around a lot and did a bunch of pointless crap. So, but an average kill on Monsoon's between 2 minutes 10 and 2 minutes 15-ish seconds. It can be a little bit more, a little bit less. Obviously this one was 2:28, but that was because Monsoon likes to go fuck the police and run around the room a lot. Okay, I didn't get it.
You killed Monsoon. I'm impressed. The brains are in the server room undergoing training. Knock yourself out. Go nuts.
Watch out! They keep on coming.
Yeah, that wolf doesn't want to sit still, so a little bit slow, but that's okay.
Raiden, Sundowner contacted you from the top floor. Time to make your way up there. The elevators appear to be disabled, which we...
During this section, you could probably, if you had like a drink in your room, a bottle of drink, you could pour yourself a glass, because you don't have to do anything in this section.
Splendid idea. By all means, yes. It seems the guards
So
have torn
basically, that's the section will trigger, and you can just stand in this corner here. 2 guards will come up and try to attack you, but that's it. So just because I've said it, I'll do it myself. This is a bottle of lemonade right here. I'm gonna drink some. I'll get the other bottle out while I'm at it. There we go. Nice cool bottle, because I have a fridge in my bedroom. Right, one of the guards will be upstairs now, but it doesn't matter if they hit you or not, it's completely irrelevant. As you can see, they get stuck. They will sort of hide behind their shield trying to attack me. Eventually they will, but you don't need to worry about them at all.
Wunderbar! My hack was a success. Board the elevator right. For security purposes, the building is in unit. Let me. It is used in
This section's again very specific. You need to know the positions and where to go. So easiest way, slide under that door. 1 to your left. Okay, that's bad. You don't want to get hit by a rocket in this room, preferably. Second one's here. Last one's in the back room, which is here.
Yes, that should take care of security. Now, head back to the gate.
Yeah.
Raiden, no. Well, as you... Look,
I wish I could actually up the production value of this stream as well as this for YouTube video, man, but I can't afford it. I just haven't got the fucking video processors or anything like that. Because I'd run the game from a console, but I don't actually have a capture card. Which is kind of annoying. Do want. Because I would run it from a console as well, I don't mind.
Nice of them to blow open the door for me, yeah? Idiot.
This section you just ignore everything and keep running through. You don't really pay any attention to anything.
All these sliders in the area. Perhaps they could be put to use. Keep climbing like that.
On this section it's a little buggy, so you want to try and get a center line, keep aiming up, and just spam jump. Mainly because the odds of you getting knocked off the building is much lower, and you won't become overwhelmed by shit on the wall.
Right away, it's up now, yeah? Almost there. Have you should
Right, here comes another skip. So here you want to switch over to your pincer blade, from your pincer blade to your polearm once again. This skip's a bit tricky because it's again 2 and 1, and you need to get fairly good positioning on the second section. Alright, so you want to go to this wall and polearm jump up to this roof here. Go straight over the roof. Right now you're supposed to have triggered a checkpoint, but killing those guards requires it. So you go between these lamps like a ninja, and you hit a conversation here. The door that's up in front of you is locked. You cannot open it by normal means, so you have to go over it. The only way to go over it is what I'm about to do. You go out here, into that room, onto the roof. And you run straight around, clipping out of bounds. There is another invisible wall just coming up here, which is here. It's not hard to get over, so just practice again. Once you've got polearm jumping down, you should be good. You fall into the elevator room, and you run back to the door you were supposed to go through to hit a checkpoint, and then restart. Now you can do a stealth trick again. You can jump up to the windowsill, jump straight past this guard, walk past this one, walk down to this guy, stab him in the back, and jump straight onto the elevator and trigger it. Like so. There'll be an elite guard that spawns here. Easy way to kill him is preemptively use your attack, because you get the geckos to spawn faster that way. You wait 3 seconds, and you'll kill the first one, no trouble, and the second one's dead. There you go. That's that platform complete. Okay, so the second platform. Let's get this one to not bug out. I think I broke it. Okay, I didn't break it, it was just lagging. Okay, you can preemptively attack these guys before they even get on the platform. Same again with the wolf. Wolf's here. You'll get one more of those guys. Again, watch the death abuse. He'll jump down, kill him with the same attack. Jump above him, and kill the sentinel. There you go. Stat selection done. Okay, it's being a bit weird because I did the first one too quickly. Okay, so these 2 guards will jump down from the same platform, but they're immune for a couple of seconds. So you want to wait, then kill them shortly after. Wait at this. Okay, so you want to kill all tripods, because there'll be 2 or 3 that spawn. And you want to just get up on this one as quick as you can. When you get here, you want to switch over to the pincer blade and the smoke grenade, preparing for the next boss fight, which is the body doubles, which a lot of people hate, which I don't really blame them for. There is a specific way to make this one go really quickly. So you want to stand here, charge your blade, and wait. So as soon as your 3 come up, you let go. Like that. So you get that. Now you go to the corner and charge stage 1 and wait in the corner. Both gorillas will land within your vicinity, but obviously on my time it was too late, so I missed 1. Doesn't matter. Obviously you only save about 2 seconds there, so it's okay. Right, this is the bit that a lot of people don't get. I will show you how to do the body doubles fairly fast. Okay, so what you need to do now is you come into the room. Obviously you've got your pincer blade equipped, you've got the smoke grenade equipped. That's the exact setup you need for the start of this fight, because you'll do the Mistral clone first, and she's the easiest one to deal with. Okay, so sprint jump into the room, grenade her. Okay, I messed up my input, so I have to reset. Same again, because I'm terrible. Sorry about that. So you want to jump into the room, lock onto Mistral, smoke, throw a grenade, stage 1, offset into stage 2 and fully charge it. Hit her with it. Charge stage 3 and let go. She'll always die, every single time. Once she's dead, switch over to your EM grenade, and go stand in this corner here. Stay in charge stage 2, and there'll be a specific reason for this in a second. Monsoon 2 will jump in, and after his third attack, let go. Because he won't be able to stagger, you can throw a grenade. It won't always work though, because he can be an arsehole sometimes. Like so. Oh, come on! Okay, so I need to reset the fight again, because, well, I'm a retard and I'm unable to target the boss correctly. But as I said, I am human, so I'm only trying to help you guys. Same as before. Come on, controller. Now I'm getting a little bit annoyed because my controller's not reading my inputs. And this is what happened with the last controller. Which is why I stopped running the game.
No. A spare body, if I had to guess. Likely controlled by an AI. Well, if it's AI controlled, it should pose no problem for you, yes?
And of course, this is not how you want to do this fight, but it decided to bug out on me, so I don't really have a choice. Come on, stay still. Whatever, he's dead. Doesn't matter. That was pretty horrendous, if I'm honest, because that went really, really poorly and the camera locked twice. Which doesn't help me. It makes it a lot harder if that happens. I'm not sure what causes it. Some people go, oh, it doesn't lock, you're doing it wrong, blah, 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 but no negativity. We don't need it. Okay, so basically, I've lost 3 minutes, as you saw. And that was because I reset the boss twice, and the controller didn't read the inputs on 2 attempts, which is slightly infuriating, but it happens from time to time, because I have an Xbox One controller, and I absolutely loathe Xbox One controllers, because they're terrible.
It's like a dream. Well, maybe dream is the wrong word. They do kill some people.
I'm going to keep buffering my helm. Look at my helmet. Boom. Oh, some super shades. Okay, so Sundowner is the easiest boss in the entire game apart from Mistral. For one simple reason, he dies in one combo of attacks that has no end, pretty much. You just wait a brief moment. Okay, so Sundowner 101. Skip the cutscene. Activate Ripper mode as soon as the fight starts. He will usually charge you. Jump over him. Charge stage 1. Charge stage 2. Wait. Charge stage 1 again. Charge stage 2. Spin away and then hit him with the second arc and he's dead. Playtime's over, Jack. Time to die. Because this boss is super creative with his words and stuff. He's super cool. I admire him. Right, now you got basically an auto-scroller. Stand in the corner and just press the shoot button. And fall asleep in the process because you're bored. It's fine. You can be mashing Y and B when you come out of here, if you want.
What? Who? Rock. Yeah, hey, hurry. Right. I'm in if he put it and then what? He's get some contact. Then we never
Hold an RL Mach 17.
That's right.
Okay, so that's Sundowner. Now I'll show you Sam. A lot of people get confused about how the speed strat works on this one as well. I won't be able to explain the next section of the game because it's really difficult to explain.
That was quite the fall, Raiden. I'm glad to see that you are all right. It's time you got out of Denver.
Okay, so this is the only time you'll ever see this item used in this entire game, which is the cardboard box.
You just get out. Yeah. Yes, a lot. I know.
Okay, so during this section, a lot of people say, oh yeah, fight the geckos. If you just sprint straight through, you don't even have to fight them. Go straight to the middle, kill this guy, go to this corner, they should all jump down, and you can kill him as he falls down. These guys like to parry a lot, so yeah, even when they're dead and don't have a sword in their hand, it doesn't really matter that much. See, look at this guy waste time. He's great. But yeah, you see my point. Right, this section is very difficult to do, but I may make it look easy. I may fuck it up and just have to go with it. Okay. Okay, so this is how you do this strat. This is the speed strat. Okay, missed it. I'll reset this once, just so I can show it off. Okay, so same again. You want to run to the right side of this pot here. Hug. Exit here. Go between that pot and that area, and you don't trigger anything. Then just sprint jump all the way down here. And obviously not trigger that guy, but you see my point. Oh, come on! I didn't even go in his range. But yeah, you see my point. This is the cardboard box strategy. You land here, you walk down, you wait, you walk down again, get past this stupid drone. Now I'm past the drone, you jump into the corner, hug the wall, enter the cardboard box again, and there you go. That's that strategy done.
With relatively light security. I will mark the heading on your solid-on radar.
Don't ask what that was because I have no idea. And you hug the left side of the road here. It's the easiest way to not engage anything.
I will find a way to exit the helicopter. Proceed out of the city. I will contact you when I am on the...
Now Sam 2. Fun. That was because I did 2 resets on the stealth section. Come on, controller, accept the input when I put it in the correct place. But yeah, that strat is based on what Tawny does. He uses he will parry twice with one strat, and other time you have to cancel into a sprint slide attack to stop him from doing it. So yeah, that fight can be done in less than 35 seconds. Mine was shortly slow because obviously the ending, and I fucked up the queue. Okay, at this point, again, switch over to the polearm. Here comes the, in quote, most difficult polearm jump in the entire game. Because it requires you to get a maximum height polearm jump. So, what you need to do is get the perfect timing on your polearm jump, which I'm missing, regardless of how much I try, because I'm terrible. Okay, so that's the polearm jump done. I'll explain how polearm jump works shortly after this video is over. Once you've got past that section, you want to switch to the pincer blade again. The reason we do that is because you out-balance the entire level, and you don't need to worry about the rest of it, pretty much. Start this fight, Ripper mode, and go to the far left corner. Stage 1 fully charged, let it hit you first. Stage 2 fully charged. You don't necessarily need to fully charge that, but it's up to you. Now you just wait for him to start talking. Or know the timing. Because you pushed him low enough to activate the Q for that. Got it. Okay, so what I've done now is I've just pushed him past the other threshold he has on his fight. So currently the boss is capable of ending his fight, but you can't do that until this stupid phase is over. So you need to wait for this phase to end by taking some damage to prepare for another section of the fight. You can run around this entire time, it doesn't really matter. That's fine. Okay, so I now need to take a bunch of damage from this gecko. Okay, one more. Kick me. No, not that. Okay, so this gecko likes to waste time because it's a piece of shit. I was already supposed to finish the boss, but it doesn't matter. I'll just do it now. But yeah, I got hit by the gecko, which I made a mistake. I need to be below a certain amount of health for this fight to work. So yeah, that gecko fucked me up. Bible thump. But yeah, okay. That's the Metal Gear Excelsius fight completed. This is all a bunch of QTs. This section is Y, Y, YB at the same time, then mash X. That was a very bad Excelsius, but you understand my point. Okay. Now you've got to go through 2 sections of fighting Armstrong because he likes to waste time. So easy way to do this. Okay, eat my input controller. That's fine. Yeah, this is what I meant by a controller eating your input. You specifically tell it to do something, but that's fine on this occasion because he got me low enough. The reason I'm low on HP is because of this. If you reach or go below 10%, it'll automatically put you to 0.1, and this phase will end automatically. You won't have to do anything other than the QT, and that's it. Which is this. Doesn't matter how fast you mash, you've got to have a certain amount of inputs done, and then it ends. It's just easier if you mash. Right. Okay, so that's Armstrong's bullshit done. Now's the final fight with actual Armstrong himself, and this is very, very easy to do. So, start the fight with Ripper mode. Just heavy attack him a bit. Offset when he does this attack. Go to the side. Okay, he's going to go through this little tantrum, which never happens. You just spam this one move for the rest of the fight. And now he'll jump up, and that's the end of the fight. Basically, all that Armstrong is a damage sponge. He shouldn't do what he did there with the parry attacks and stuff. He shouldn't try to punch me, but it's because I did it wrong at the opening. But it's still not hard. And that's Metal Gear Rising for you. Basically, all that this run consists of is practicing, learning the quick strats for the bosses, and knowing how to do the polearm jumps and out of bounds skips. Intermission fights, again, they do play into the timer quite heavily, but it is more learning what works for you. So, there you go. That is Metal Gear Rising in 1 hour, 3 minutes and 44 seconds, and with a tutorial. Hopefully that helped you guys if you want to run this game. I hope it's been of assistance to you. It's been an absolute privilege for me. And thank you very much for watching. I will be uploading this onto YouTube. And I wish you all the best if you decide to pick up this game and run this game. Best of luck. Sanzel out.